Dear friend, did you know that there's something very few people are willing to admit? That once we cross the age of 60, intimacy is no longer as simple as if you want it, it happens. Especially for those living with diabetes or high blood pressure. Just the thought of it can cause anxiety, worries about heart strain, fears of blood sugar dropping. And just like that, many men quietly choose to put down their sword. But let me tell you, that doesn't mean everything is over. Throughout the years working with hundreds of older men with underlying health conditions, I've realized one thing. If applied correctly, with 3 simple techniques that I'm about to share, you can still restore your sexual vitality safely, naturally, and without pressure. And the interesting part is, the very first technique I'm about to introduce has nothing to do with that area at all. Yet it's exactly what has helped many men flip their switch back on after years of thinking it was gone for good. Trust me, this is the part no one wants to miss. Before we get into today's content, allow me to get to know you a little. What's your name, and where in the world are you watching this video from? I always feel so happy and honored to be accompanied by new friends on this journey. Please leave a comment below so I know who I'm sharing this moment with today. And if you find this topic genuinely helpful, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our weekly content on male sexual health after 60. Now let's begin with the first technique, and it's also the one that surprises most people. Technique 1, pelvic nerve regulation, rebooting the central control of sexual function. It may sound complex, but the first technique I want you to know is actually very simple. No medication, no equipment needed, and most importantly, no touching of the sensitive area at all. But it's this very practice that can restart the entire sexual system that's been asleep, and do it safely. Many people think that when sexual function declines, the problem must be with the output hardware. But in fact, the root of the issue lies in the pelvic nerves and blood vessels, which serve as the central station between the brain and the genitals. Once the nerves here become blocked due to poor circulation, something common in older individuals with diabetes or hypertension, the signals get weaker and sexual response diminishes, even when the genitals themselves are still structurally capable. So the first thing you need to do is reboot that connection using a technique that combines deep breathing with gentle movement of the lower abdomen and pelvic floor. This isn't a strenuous workout, but more like a way to wake up the nerves by bringing blood and oxygen back to the right place. Just a few minutes a day is enough. And if you stick with it after a few weeks, you'll notice that you're becoming more sensitive, both in terms of sensation and response. I once had a patient call me at 7 in the morning, excitedly telling me, "Doctor, I think my system just got reset successfully." We both laughed at the metaphor, but in truth, it was a very good sign, because when the pelvic region gets reactivated, the whole sexual system gradually returns to its natural rhythm. And this is only the beginning. The next technique will surprise you even more, because it has to do with the way you sit, lie down, and breathe every day, without realizing that those familiar habits might be silently interfering with your sexual function. Dear friend, if you're still watching this video at this point, I'm truly glad. It means you really care about the issue of restoring your sexual vitality safely, even with underlying health conditions. Please leave the number 1 in the comment section below so I know you're still here with me on this journey. Technique 2, posture and breathing, a harmless-looking duo that directly affects your private area. This is something most men, especially after the age of 60, frequently overlook. The way you sit, lie down, and breathe. All of these can silently impact the function of your reproductive system, even if you don't realize it. Many gentlemen with underlying conditions, particularly diabetes or high blood pressure, often lie with their pillows too high, or spend long hours sitting in a slouched position with the abdomen compressed, unintentionally putting pressure on the lower belly, which compresses the blood vessels supplying the pelvic area. Blood flow decreases, and the nerves in the sensitive region gradually lose responsiveness, resulting in intimacy fading away even though the desire is still there. And there's one more factor that often goes unnoticed. Shallow, interrupted breathing, often seen in those who are anxious, sleep-deprived, or spend too much time in front of screens, further restricts oxygen exchange and circulation. And as you already know, if blood and oxygen don't reach the right areas, then no matter how many supplements or medications you take, results will be limited. The solution here is not complicated. Simply adjust your sitting posture, keep your back straight, relax your shoulders, and avoid overcompressing your abdomen. When lying down, choose a medium-height pillow that keeps your neck and spine balanced. Along with that, practice a deep breathing cycle of 4-6-8. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 6 seconds, exhale for 8 seconds. This activates your parasympathetic nervous system and supports circulation in the lower abdomen. If you stick to this routine for a few weeks, your body will begin to adapt. The tingling or cold sensations in your hands, feet, and especially the reproductive area may noticeably improve. One of my older patients even joked, "Just by changing how I lie and breathe, my wife thought I had just visited some top-secret specialist." But don't celebrate too soon. There's still one more crucial factor that many people overlook, a habit that seems harmless before bedtime, but over time severely weakens sexual reflexes. We'll explore that in the next section. Technique 3. A small bedtime habit, the silent enemy of sexual reflexes. Many people believe that any relaxing activity before bedtime, like checking their phones, snacking, or curling up, is harmless. But the truth is, these seemingly innocent habits can actually delay the recovery of sexual function, especially for those with underlying health issues. Specifically, eating late at night, especially foods high in refined carbohydrates or sugar, causes blood sugar to spike during sleep. This disrupts insulin rhythm and interferes with the production of male sex hormones. Over time, it leads to a drop in testosterone levels at night, which is when the body naturally produces these hormones. Moreover, watching your phone or TV right before bed reduces melatonin production, a hormone that not only supports sleep, but also plays a role in nervous system recovery and proper pituitary function. When melatonin is suppressed, the body's sexual recovery cycle is also delayed, leaving you waking up the next morning without that recharged feeling both physically and sexually. Another detail few notice is the curled-up sleeping position, especially common in older adults with back pain or fatigue, which increases pressure on the lower abdomen and disrupts blood flow to the reproductive area for several hours. Sleeping in that position all night is like unintentionally cutting the power to the entire system that's supposed to be recharging. To fix this, you don't need to overhaul your life, just focus on 3 things. Eat dinner earlier, avoid electronic devices 30 minutes before bed, and sleep in a position where your spine is gently extended, legs slightly bent, and lower belly not compressed. These small but consistent changes will allow your sex hormones to recover properly each night, helping you feel stronger each morning, not just mentally, but in that physical way we both understand. And if you think sexual recovery only comes from within the body, then you might be surprised by what I'm going to share next. An external factor that has an unexpectedly powerful impact on maintaining a man's confidence after the age of 60. Dear friend, if you're still watching this video at this point, thank you for staying with me this far. I truly appreciate and value that. Please leave the number 3 in the comment section below so I know I'm not speaking alone. Part 2. Living environment and emotions. The silent impact on sexual health that few expect. Over many years of working with older male patients, especially those with underlying health conditions, I've come to realize something important. Sexual health isn't just a reflection of the body's condition. It's also a mirror of daily life quality, including your surroundings and emotional state. Many men ask me, "I eat well, I exercise, but why do I still feel drained and uninterested in intimacy?" When I dig deeper, I often find that their living environment, while not toxic, lacks positive stimulation. Dim lighting all day long, cramped spaces, constant background noise from the TV or neighbors, all of these affect the autonomic nervous system, keeping the body in a state of mild but persistent tension. Then there are emotions. Feelings of loneliness, insecurity due to chronic illness, or the habit of bottling everything up, these lead the body to produce cortisol continuously, a hormone that suppresses testosterone. And as you know, if testosterone isn't being produced consistently, a man's vitality slowly fades away. So if you really want to recover your sexual health, don't just focus inward, clean up your living space, open windows to let in natural light, add some greenery to your bedroom, take time to relax without technology, and find someone to talk to. The body needs to feel safe in order to heal, and these seemingly small changes can have a significant impact. Of course, all the techniques and adjustments we've discussed so far won't reach their full potential if you overlook the most foundational factor, the food you put into your body each day. And in the next part, I'll share with you 3 essential nutrients that help improve blood flow, support sexual nerves, and naturally boost sexual function, especially suitable for men with diabetes and high blood pressure. Part 3, 3 nutrients that support circulation and sexual health. Natural allies for men with underlying conditions. When it comes to restoring circulation and sexual function in men with chronic conditions, a few activation techniques before bedtime are a great way to start. But sometimes, the body needs a little extra boost to keep everything running smoothly, especially for those who have been affected long-term by diabetes, hypertension, or medication. I often compare the body after 60 to a car that's been driven for many years. The engine still works, but to start it up smoothly, it needs a little lubrication. And in this case, natural nutrients are exactly the kind of motor oil that helps your circulatory system, nervous system, and hormones function in harmony. The first nutrient is magnesium, an essential mineral that is often deficient in older men. It helps relax blood vessels, supports nerve transmission, and plays a key role in maintaining sexual reflexes. Without enough magnesium, the body becomes stiff, circulation weakens, and there's a cold feeling in places that are supposed to be more responsive. The second nutrient is arginine, an amino acid that boosts the production of nitric oxide, a substance that helps dilate blood vessels, especially in the pelvic region. It's a common ingredient in many sexual health supplements, but you can also absorb it naturally from foods like almonds, beans, or salmon. And finally, vitamin B6, small but incredibly powerful. B6 helps regulate sex hormones, reduces neurological fatigue, and improves sleep quality. Three critical aspects often lacking in men with chronic conditions. When the body rests better, the sexual systems begin to recover more effectively as well. When these three nutrients are combined in the evening, through a light meal or supplements, many people report noticeable changes. Deeper sleep, waking up feeling more refreshed, and most importantly, the return of natural vitality without any artificial push. But no matter how effective these solutions are, they're still just the foundation. Because if you want these results to last, not just for a few days, but for many years ahead, the key lies in building a stable and consistent sexual wellness routine each day. And that's exactly what I'll help guide you through in the next part. Part 4. Building a sustainable sexual health routine. Consistency is the key to staying strong after 60. Many men feel excited when they first start exercising or taking supporting supplements. But after a short time, they give up due to a lack of noticeable results or a loss of motivation. But what I always emphasize to my patients is this: real results don't come from doing a lot for a few days, but from doing it right and consistently every single day. Sexual health routines are just like tending a garden. You can't water it heavily once and then ignore it for the rest of the week. What's truly needed is a stable biological rhythm, gentle enough not to cause pressure, but regular enough to give your nervous and hormonal systems a chance to gradually adjust in a positive direction. One simple way to start is by establishing a light morning ritual, such as drinking a glass of warm water with a few drops of pumpkin seed oil. This natural oil supports the prostate and enhances natural hormone activity. Follow that with a few light stretching movements in a quiet space. No need for complicated yoga, just enough to get your joints and blood vessels moving. In the afternoon, about an hour before dinner, you can continue with a short routine, such as taking one of the supplements mentioned earlier, paired with a 5-minute deep breathing session. Many people think these things are too simple to be effective, but it's precisely because they're simple that they're easy to repeat, and it's this intentional repetition that brings about real results. Because there's no miracle that happens overnight, but many positive changes will come if you persist with small actions. After age 60, your body doesn't need dramatic transformation. It needs consistency, gentleness, and patience, like tending a garden after a long winter. And once you maintain that rhythm, the next thing you'll feel won't just be in your body, it will be something deeper. A reconnection with the vitality and confidence you once had. That's also what I want to share with you in the final part, a message, not from a medical standpoint, but from the experience of being human. Part 5. Vitality never disappears, it's just waiting for you to wake it up the right way. If there's one thing I sincerely hope you take away from this video, it's this. Male sexual vitality after 60, even with diabetes or high blood pressure, is not a lost cause. It hasn't vanished. It simply stepped aside, waiting for the right conditions to return. I've seen many men walk into my clinic looking tired, lacking confidence, believing that those days are behind them. But with just a few small changes in the way they breathe, eat, and think, their bodies began to recover, their minds felt lighter, and most importantly, they regained that sense of being in control again. Because male sexual health isn't just a physical issue. It's a reflection of inner energy when you still feel that you matter, that you want to take care of yourself, that you still look forward to better things each day. Then that energy is still alive within you. And you don't need to change your whole life in a week. You don't need to push like you did in your younger days. All it takes is a bit of daily attention, done right, done consistently, and done with care. Those simple things form the true foundation for long-term recovery. Aging may slow your steps, but it doesn't take away your sense of agency unless you give it up first. And I believe if you're still watching up to this very moment, then you've never given up on that. Dear friend, if you've followed along all the way to the end, I believe you're not just interested in sexual health, but truly committed to living well fully, even when your body comes with the challenges of age or chronic illness. The journey to improve sexual wellness after 60 doesn't require flashy solutions. What you need is to understand your body, adjust your daily habits one at a time, and maintain them with patience and belief. If the content in this video has been helpful for you, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. So each week, we can continue to walk this journey with you, sharing scientific, accessible, and safe guidance for older adults, especially men with health conditions. Thank you for spending your valuable time listening. Wishing you strength, health, and the courage to keep moving forward on your path to self-care. See you again in the next video.